Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine this Sunday morning, guys. Whatever you're doing, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Please, before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to smash a like. A little like wouldn't go amiss, guys. If you could smash a like on the video for me, to help with all the algorithms, etc. And also, guys, don't forget to put your notifications on as well. That'd be great as well, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get straight into the news. Let's delve straight into the Manchester United. What do we say? How do we say it? Circus. It's a circus, isn't it? It's an absolute drama. We need our own Netflix series, don't we, at the end of the day? Guys, we're going to be talking about Mbeumo. We're going to be talking about another striker that Man United are linked with, as an alternative for Gyökeres. And also, Casemiro. Will Casemiro be staying at the football club? Well. You know, we can't. This is the problem. We can't get rid of these players. They're on too much wages. Who's going to pay 370 grand a week for Casemiro? Not even the Saudis are going to be doing that, guys. So we're going to get into that anyway, guys. But firstly, let's start off with a little bit of a positive. Something a little bit more softer in regards to everything. Okay, Matteo Retegui, of course. Matteo Retegui is an Italian international who we have spoken about on this show many times, guys. A striker from Atalanta. Guys, a very highly talented 26-year-old Italian international. 20 caps for Italy, 6 goals. Very good player, guys. We know that. We've spoken about in quite a number. And Man United are looking for alternatives in case the Gyökeres deal doesn't materialize, basically. So obviously this Gyökeres deal is up in the air. When Man United eventually get the Mbeumo deal done, the Gyökeres situation becomes more potent, and Man United will be chasing Gyökeres. But if Gyökeres decides to go elsewhere, which is a huge possibility, especially with the likes of Liverpool and the likes of Arsenal lurking around in the distance, and let's not forget other clubs will be interested as well. They're just not being exposed yet to the deal. So if Man United go after Gyökeres and we end up failing to get Gyökeres, Man United have made contingency plans. And one of those contingency plans is Matteo Retegui. Matteo Retegui, look, guys, only 26 years old, a goal scorer. An absolute prolific goal scorer, to be honest with you. Very, very versatile as well, guys. And also, you know what? It might be a little bit cheaper than Gyökeres. Maybe not much cheaper, but Man United could quite possibly do a deal for about 50 million euros, guys. His market value is about 45 million euros. But you know what? 50 million euros should do it. And I like the way this kind of approach is occurring because I do believe Man United should have contingency plans. Man United should have backup plans if we don't get Gyökeres. I mean, I think that's very important that we can go straight on to the next one. Like I said, many times on the stream when we were chasing Jarreth Branthwaite. And by the way, Jarreth Branthwaite could be signing a new contract at Everton, by the way. But anyway, that's beside the point. We were talking about Jarreth Branthwaite last year and how we may get Jarreth Branthwaite. And when we didn't get Jarreth Branthwaite, because we're completely priced out of the market, we got Euro. You know, so that's what I want. You're not going to get this player, you get that one. You get that. You're not going to get him, you get that one. You have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. And obviously, Gyökeres, I mean, there is rumors. People think that he's going to sign for Man United or he's going to sign for someone else. You know, at the moment, it's all up in the air at the moment. What I've been told is that Gyökeres has made the decision, but he's not going to speak yet until after he's back and he's ready to speak to us. But Matteo Retegui, Atalanta striker, has been linked to Man United again. By the way, we have spoken about this a couple of times over the last few months. And as I reiterate, in regards to Man United's transfer wish list, basically, Man United still have the same players on their wish list. Some of them have been there since last summer. For example, we all saw the game yesterday between Botafogo and Palmeiras. Botafogo and Palmeiras, of course, you may have seen Richard Rios playing in that game. And Richard Rios, how good was Richard Rios, guys? How good was Richard Rios? Very good, wasn't he? We were interested in, we spoke about him a year ago on Stretford Post, of course, and we were outpriced. This is the problem. Like we cannot be outpriced. You know, He is worth 25 million euros, around that mark. They're going to ask for about 60. In the summer, last summer, they were asking for about 90 million euros, to be honest with you. So Man United need to work out a deal for that. I mean, look, I do believe Man United can get a bargain in regards to Richard Rios. But the only problem I'm having is this, right? And I said it yesterday. Man United won't be looking for a midfielder yet. I just feel, I've got this feeling. I think Man United will be doing their strikers first. And then obviously the attackers, the striker, and the goalkeeper. That's what I think Man United are going to be doing, given the fact we've already got Kobe Mainu, we've already got Ugarte, we've already got Casemiro still at the football club, Collier is still at the football club as well. And look, what I go by it, whatever Ruben Amorim decides to prioritize. At the end of the day, Ruben Amorim is going to prioritize what he wants to prioritize, of course. So, I think we do need a midfielder. I do think we need another midfielder in there, but I don't think that is the top of our priority list in regards to the attackers and the right wing back and the goalkeeper. I just feel like we may even need another centre back, to be honest with you, if we're given the fact that we've lost Evans and we've lost Lindelof. So we might need another centre back as well. But Richard Rios would mark a great signing for Man United, and it's someone that the kind of player that I like. The unknown quantity, so to speak, a little bit of an aggression, that South American grit. I like that about a player. Do you know what I mean? I like there's something edgy about him, and he was very good yesterday. As was John Victor, we spoke about, as we know, a week ago on this channel, the goalkeeper who currently plays for Botafogo. Very, very good goalkeeper. And 29 years old. I know he's 29 years old, but again, 5 million euros market value. Man United could possibly do a deal for 10, 15 million euros, guys, for a goalkeeper of that ilk. Do you know what I mean? Would he want to come to Man United? I'm pretty sure he would want to come to Man United to play in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure about that. That would be absolutely brilliant. But, if you watched the game yesterday, he was superb. He was superb, in my opinion. And very capable, It just shows you that if you look around the world, if you look in South America, if you're looking around different countries, you will find bargains there. There are bargains to be had. And what Man United need to do is find those bargains, and rather than just going after the obvious ones, the expensive ones and stuff like that, because they're playing for Botafogo or Palmeiras or Corinthians or Estudiantes or something like that, it doesn't mean that they're not as good. Do you know what I mean? Every player has to come from somewhere. And that's the way I would say it, guys. Absolutely. Let's get into some of your comments, guys. Big up everyone in the chat. You absolute legends. I hope you're all doing well. Let's get into it. Big up Albie Burrows. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Albie. Hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. Really good to see you. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. Thank you so much for joining me, my friend. Absolutely. Good. Big up Albie. Big up MUC forever. Hope you're doing well. Big up, my friend. Good to see you again. Kevin, Mateo Ortega could be a flop like Rasmus Højlund. One thing I would say about that, Kevin, he may be, maybe not. He may, at the end of the day, look, we don't know. This is the thing, isn't it? We don't know. I don't like to speculate and say that he's going to be a flop or he's going to be an absolute success. What I would say is that he's 26 years old. He is more experienced than Rasmus was when he walked into the Premier League. So I would give him that. I would give him his call in regards to that. I think he's a very good player. Do I think he will succeed at Man United? I think he's likely, especially if you're playing alongside Mbeumo and Cunha. I think he's a very good player, but I wouldn't say absolutely he's going to succeed in England. He's going to smash it in England. He's going to score 30 goals. I wouldn't say that because I don't think we're in the position to say that. What I would say is that what I've seen of him, and obviously we're going to paint everyone with the same brush now. Obviously playing for Atalanta, that we're going to be going, oh, look, it's that Rasmus Højlund thing. It's just like if we went after Lookman or someone of that ilk, we're going to be like, oh, it's that, what, he's playing for Atalanta. It's one of them ones again, isn't it? Or Ederson. People could say that about Ederson as well. He's playing for Atalanta. It might be another Rasmus Højlund kind of thing. This is the thing. I mean, I don't really deal with absolutes on this channel, but what I would say is that, every transfer that we're going to bring into this football club is going to represent a risk. No matter who it is, I think it's going to represent a risk, Kevin, to be honest with you. And no matter if we bring Richard Rios, it's going to represent a risk, isn't it? At the end of the day, if we bring in Jokeres, it would probably represent a risk as well, because at the end of the day, people could argue that, oh, but he's only done it in the Portuguese league, blah, 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 and rubbish like that, of course. But, everything's going to represent a risk. And I would trust Ruben Amorim in regards to what he wants and if he approves the deal, because I do believe he can work with these strikers as well. Big up, Gray. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, brother. Hope you're well. 7 a.m. in the UK and not usually awake this time. Looking forward to another great stream. Thank you, Gray, for waking up so early on a Sunday, my friend. Really good to see you. I thought you might be going to church, but you are here with me. Thank you so much, Graham. Thank you very much for joining me today, my friend. Big up MUC forever. You legend, of course. 27 likes already. Come on, guys. Let's get up. Let's get those likes up. Let's get to 100 likes. Thank you so much. Big up Ellen. Long time no see. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Denbo, good morning. How you doing? Fetch us some good news whilst I nurse my hangover. One thing I would say, guys, it is the weekend. It is obviously Sunday. So obviously the news kind of thing is not going to be as potent as it would be during the midweek. Obviously, we should be working tooth and nail even at the weekend to get deals done. In regards to, now let me bring it over to Mbeumo. Now, Mbeumo, obviously, there has been rumours about Brentford's extraordinary requests in regards to how much they want up front. Apparently, Brentford want the full amount up front. Brentford want a big chunk of that money, probably 95% of the money up front. We're looking at about 60 million. Brentford want, apparently. Apparently, the incentives as well are extraordinary, extremely inflated, should I say. Extremely inflated. So this is the problem that we're having at the moment with Brentford. Now, the fee has been agreed, as we've already said. I've already said this a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. The fee has been agreed. The deal but the actual structure of the deal has not been agreed. The payment plan, the payment structure of the deal has not been agreed. So this obviously has to be ironed out. Now, when a player wants, and let me reiterate, right? When a player wants to leave a football club, it's very, very rare that a player won't get his wish. And that's what I would say. He wants to leave the football club. He's adamant he wants to leave the football club. There are rumors that he's frustrated by the duration of which this deal is taking place, taking so long to do, and he wants to get himself prepared for the new season. Now, Brentford have to carry on, have to get a move on, because if Man United decide, right, let's say Man United decide, right, we're not going to do this deal, we're going to walk away from this deal. If they decide to walk away from this deal, what do Brentford do with a very unhappy player? Do you know what I mean? What do they do with a player that is disgruntled and wants to leave the football club? It's not going to be beneficial for them on and off the pitch, on a financial level, on a footballing level as well. It's not going to be good for them, is it? So they have to get this deal done. Manchester United have provisionally booked a medical for him. So obviously that's provisional. So that could be cancelled, of course. So Man United have provisionally booked a medical for Mbeumo. What does that tell you? It basically tells you that the deal is almost done, guys. It is almost done. And bloody about time, for goodness sake, this deal needs to be done. It's been too long. Absolutely. Big up, Lee. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. And big up, Bill. Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Absolutely. Absolutely great. Tybo, good morning, Tybo. How you doing, guys? And by the way, congratulations to the England under-21s who won the European Championship for the second time in a row, guys, beating Germany in the final, guys. A very good game, 3-2 to England. Very, very good game. Absolutely. Smashed it. Yeah, very good. Well done to them. It's just a shame that England can't transfer for the under-21 success to the actual senior team, isn't it, at the end of the day, guys? Absolutely. Good morning, my guy, Bill. Big up yourself. That is what's going on. These high wages are becoming like anchors, slowing our progress. Yes, this is something that is from the Myrtle and Woodward days, isn't it? We gave these ridiculous contracts out, I mean, unjustly as well. The thing is, like, I don't mind contracts being handed out, right, if you achieve something of significance. And what do I mean by significance? I mean, like, Premier League, Champions League, something like that along that line. I'm not talking about FA Cup, League Cup, and Europa League. I'm talking about Champions League and Premier League. If you achieve something like that, that is when you deserve an astronomical amount of money. But unfortunately, Man United, during the Murtaugh and Woodward days, we were given out contracts in boxes of cereal, basically, free. You know what I mean? For nothing, for not achieving anything. You know, that's what we were doing. And giving Sancho 300,000 a week, giving Casemiro, who's on his last legs, 370 grand a week. What are we playing at? What will we playing at? And now this is one thing. Look, I can blame Ineos for a lot of things, but this is one thing I don't blame them for. I don't blame them for these contracts. I don't blame them for not being able to get rid of players, because at the end of the day, just like with Fenerbahce and Sancho, Fenerbahce could want Sancho. Jose Mourinho could want Sancho, but Sancho might not be willing to take a pay cut. You know, it's just like last year when Maguire was wanted by West Ham, but Maguire said, no, I'm not taking a pay cut. Why should I take a pay cut? You give me 5 million and I will take a pay cut. You can't argue with that. They're contractually, Man United are contractually obliged to honor that contract. So at the end of the day, what can they do? You know, what can Ineos do? The only thing they can do realistically is say, right, we don't want you at the football club. We're going to pay off your contract and you're gone. But we all know that they're not going to pay off the contract. We all know that they can't afford to pay off the contract. We can't even afford to pay transfers. We're not going to pay Luke Shaw 2 years' wages, Sancho 1 year's wages, you know, and Rashford, etc. This is the issue that we're having. And this is how incompetently we've been run over the years, isn't it? With the players and the contracts. That players could go to Man United and they could think, you know what? I don't even have to play that well and I'm going to get a new contract. I don't even have to play and I'm going to get a new contract. That is exactly how it is at the moment at Man United, how it has been in the last few years. Look at Phil Jones. Phil Jones, for goodness sake, mate. Phil Jones got a testimonial, mate. A testimonial. You know, that is how long he stayed at Man United. How many games did he play? 1 game a season? Something like that? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Good morning, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. So how do you think if the price of Mbeumo is too high, do you think they will walk? I don't think they'll walk, Ephraim. I think that this deal is done. I honestly think that way, Ephraim, because the problem is that Man United could call their bluff. Man United could walk and say that, all right, we're walking away. But at the end of the day, they know that they got the upper hand. Man United, as they said yesterday, are relaxed in this situation. They don't need to worry because Mbeumo dearly wants to come to Man United. He desperately wants to come to Man United. So Man United are relaxed in this situation and not really bothered about what Brentford cry about, because Man United will get this deal over the line. It will happen. Absolutely. The only biggest concern for me going forward right now is, are we looking at other targets? Like, for example, I know we're going to get Mbeumo through the door, but are we going to get a striker? Are we working on the striker now? Are we working on the right wing back and the midfield and the goalkeeper now? What are we doing to fix that area of the pitch as well? We can't just put all our eggs in one basket and say, that's it. You know what? We're concentrating on that and that's all we're going to be concentrating on. We need to obviously look at the other parts of the pitch as well. I do believe the Mbeumo deal's done. I just think that Brentford are being absolute prats at the moment. And Man United obviously doing what Man United do, doing the instalment plan and stuff like that, trying to work out the best deal for themselves. But obviously, it's taking a long time to be here we go. You know, we don't need to have a clarification or confirmation of a deal being done to have a here we go. We just need a here we go. And that is what it is. And the 1st of July, that's when the deal will be done officially, of course. Absolutely. Big up, Dan. What's going on, my friend? We need to sell first. Look, Man United have 250 million FFP PSR leeway in regards to room, in regards to that, right? They have 250 million. We've already spent 60 million of that on Cunha, just above 60 million on Cunha. So what I would say is that Man United have the money. I'm not falling for that old chestnut. They have the money, right? Jim Ratcliffe was about to purchase Chelsea for 5 billion, right? He spent 1 billion on Man United. He's got 4 billion left. Where's that other 4 billion gone that he was going to spend on Chelsea? That's what I really want to know, right? That's what I really want to know. So I'm not falling for all this, oh, we ain't got no money crap. At the end of the day, if they rejected 100 million for Bruno, they've got money, right? They rejected 100 million for Bruno. So obviously we're right in that aspect, isn't it? So I don't want to hear them talking about how we've got no money, because at the end of the day, what I am seeing, what I hear is contradicting itself. You know, at the end of the day, just like last season when we were saying that we can't sack Ten Hag because we got no money, and then we go and get Ruben Amorim and sack Ten Hag, you know, and the money comes out of nowhere, isn't it? These guys just don't want to spend money. That's it. Now, in one way, I understand them. I understand that they don't want to spend their own money because they don't really own the football club. The Glazers own the football club, but that's that's thanks to them. Do you know what I mean? That's thanks to Ineos. So what I would say is that they've got more money than they make out. They manipulate people. They do. And they want us to believe that there's nothing in the kitty. Man United have got money. And let me tell you that. And I'm not going to ever let them off the hook. Because at the end of the day, they purchased this football club on their vanity project, right? And they know that we are Manchester United. We came 15th. I don't care if they got no money. I'll sell the flipping football club then. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they've got money and you will see it in the summer and you'll be like, where did they get that money from? We were making all those cutbacks. Where did we get all that money from? And then you'll see. The cutbacks are just a manipulation tactic. Trust me. Marshall, what's going on? Let's get deals done, please, and let's offload, please. Absolutely, Marshall. We hope so, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you back, my friend. Yeah, look. You know, the problem is Man United are going to face, and we predicted this over the summers, that Sancho, Rashford are going to struggle to lead the football club. That's what I would say in regards to that. Anthony and Garnacho, it's ticking. There are rumours that Garnacho might stay at the football club, which is weird, but I have heard that he may stay at the football club, despite what's happened between him and Ruben Amorim. I'm not too sure about that. I would take that with a pinch of salt. I am of the knowledge that Ruben Amorim wants to sell Garnacho and Anthony. There's a number of players that Man United need to get rid of at this football club. You know, we've already got Eriksen, Lindelof, Evans at the football club. So we already got 3 players at the football club, but those players run out of their contract. So what I want to know is that what's going on with Casemiro, Anthony, Garnacho, Shaw, Mount, you know, all these players there, Rashford. I want to know what's going on with them as well. You know what I mean? Because to be honest with you, you know, we need to free up some space in this already stacked squad full of mercenaries. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Big up, Rajat. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. James, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. He's like a man's bottom. Who's that? Big up, my friend. Bill, is this the year of the Victor Osman, your care is Victor, John Victor, Lindelof, or under 19 Victor Musa, who scored a set? Good point there. The Victor Musa, obviously, people are sleeping on Victor Musa at the moment. Obviously, he scored 6 goals in 1 game last year, didn't he? Very, very good player. I'm excited about Victor Musa, as I am of Chido Obi Martin as well. We cannot forget the youth players that are coming through. We can't. But what Man United do need an experienced striker, very much so, desperately need an experienced striker. There's no substitute for how influential an experienced striker can be at the football club, and it can nurture those younger strikers, of course. Something that we've been missing over the last few years. And this is something that I feel sorry for in regards to Rasmus Højlund, because Rasmus Højlund obviously was thrown into the deep end, so to speak, wasn't he? It weren't his fault we spent all that money on him, and he's been asked to score the goals, be the main man to score the goals for Man United without anyone around him. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Sad as it is. Ephraim, Sal, how many Italian players played for Man United? Not many. Giuseppe Rossi, Massimo Taibi. Who else? Is it just 2? Massimo Taibi, Giuseppe Rossi. Here's a question for you guys. How many Italian players have played for Man? Is it just 2? Giuseppe Rossi, Massimo Taibi. Who's the other one? Who's the other one? I'm thinking of the other Italian player. There must have been another Italian player who played for Manchester United. There isn't many, if you're being fair, compared, you know, realistically. I mean, it's strange that Man United haven't had many Italian players playing for them. Big up, Sanchez. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, Bill. Big up, everyone. Raja. Hello, good morning, bro. Good morning, mate. MEC Forever. Wait, Matteo Retegui is at Atletico. Here we go. Or is there another Matteo Retegui? Now, Matteo Retegui is an Atalanta player. You're thinking of someone else, mate. You're thinking of Retegui. Retegui is an Atalanta. Retegui. You're thinking of Retegui. We're thinking of Retegui. Retegui plays for Atalanta. He plays for at the moment. So at the moment, there is no one interested in Retegui, and he's not going to Atletico Madrid. You're thinking of Retegui. Retegui is a striker. Retegui is someone completely different, my guy. Absolutely. Grayo. If you're on Facebook and would like to add me on, please do. Graham Morgan Grayo. Absolutely. Go ahead, guys. Add Graham on there. Big up yourselves. Absolutely. Bill. Watch the game. 25 minutes for Richard Rios, but no more. He's decent on a ball, but anonymous when other teams are attacking. Could be, Bill. Yeah, there could be. Look, at the end of the day, it is a risk. And as I said, that every transfer that Man United are going to risk, in particular if we get players from other continents, it's going to represent a risk, isn't it? But I've seen a lot of Richard Rios. I think he would help Man United squad immensely, and I think 25 billion would do the trick. Absolutely. But obviously, the problem we're having with Richard Rios is that we're being outpriced at the market again. You know, last year they were actually putting a 90 million euro price tag on Richard Rios. Can you believe that? You know what I mean? Unbelievable. I think this season they won about 60 million. It's too much for him, in my opinion. Absolutely. Rajat, do not want Bruno Hoofball to front like that. He won't be a great idea. Grayo, centre back. Who would you like to see join us? Gray, I don't think Man United need a centre-back desperately. I think Man United, with the centre-back position, we've got Licha, we've got Yoro, we've got De Ligt, we've got Mazraoui. At the end of the day, we've also got, obviously, Fredrickson and Kolungi and players along that coming up as well. And we also got, of course, Aiden Heaven. So I think Man United are relatively stacked in that position. I do believe Man United need another defender, but I don't think it's the most desperate part of the pitch that Man United need at the moment. So desperately, Man United need a striker. Man United need a right wing back, a goalkeeper, and then a midfielder, then a defender, in my opinion. But if I was going to go for a defender for Manchester United, if I was going to sign a defender for Man United, who would I go for? Oh, it's a tough one, to be honest with you. It's a tough one. I would like to see someone a little bit more experienced in there, if possible. I don't know who I'll go for, to be honest with you. If I'm thinking about it, I really don't. Who can we get for a relatively good price? Look. I like that player who plays for Nottingham Forest. What's the guy's name? Danilo? It's not Danilo, is it? It's the guy who plays for Nottingham Forest. And I like that player. To be honest with you, he's a good player as well. But yeah, so I have to see. I have to see what it is at the end of the day, guys. I have to see. But I don't think Man United are that desperate and not going in for a defender at the moment, guys. Absolutely. Yeah, he's a defensive midfielder, Danilo, isn't he? So he's not a defender. He's a defensive midfielder. But I like Danilo. Danilo's very highly underrated, guys, by the way. Stephen, Slow FC, Ineos and Glazers out. Big up, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. Mean to the front line. Big up, Raja. Big up, Bill. Victor John, yeah, take it for 10 million euros and as easy saves, but he has done some Hollywood saves. Bill, you know what I would say is that as long as he's making the simple things look easy. You know, we've had Onana who's letting in ridiculous goals and costing us a lot of goals over the last season, including the Europa League final goal, wasn't it? I mean, I know many goalkeepers who would have saved that goal from Tottenham. And if we didn't see that goal, I actually believe that Man United would have probably went on to win the Europa League, if I'm being honest with you guys. What I would say is that, yeah, someone like Victor John, 10 million, take it, man. Take it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what you got to lose? 10 million, take it. He's a good goalkeeper. Big up, Randy. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Sal, do you think signing Cunha and Mbeumo could help Bruno and do everything? One thing I hope, though, I hope, Ephraim, is that now that we have Cunha and Mbeumo in the team, is that Bruno doesn't go out of position. Bruno is disciplined within in his position and gets the ball and passes it to the attackers. I mean, I said it yesterday. I've said it many times that bringing in good players to the team could ignite something. It could give a spark to the rest of the team. Do you know what I mean? And obviously take the pressure off the likes of Bruno and Ugarte, for example. Ugarte and Bruno were left with a lot of work to do last season, as was Casemiro as well. A lot of work was needed to be done last season because obviously, Garnacho and Ahmad and these attackers are not really disciplined in the way they go forward. Now, when you've got two players like Mbeumo and you've got Cunha, I do believe it's going to help Ugarte, Casemiro, Bruno, Collier, Mainu. I think it's going to help all of those. I really do. I do think that. It just takes a spark. Just takes a spark of someone to come into that club and to absolutely take it by the scruff of the neck and move the team forward. And I believe that Mbeumo and Cunha will do that. I'm really looking forward to that because these are two players that we haven't had in a while. Absolute warriors, who really want to succeed. You can tell the hunger in those players. You can tell that they really want to do this. They really want to bring Man United back. And if Bruno's got those players in front of him, Bruno has no need to go out of position, to be ill-disciplined in his positioning and stuff like that. He has no need to do that. So that is a good thing at the end of the day. And hopefully, fingers crossed, guys, it works. Because I know for a fact that Bruno will be playing in that number 8 position. For a fact, he will be playing in a number 8 position. So we have to get used to the idea that that's going to be happening. Do I agree with that? Initially, I don't really agree with that. But I do believe that Mbeumo and Cunha will help him immensely. Bill, big up, everyone. Big up, everyone. Malu, what's going on? Is it Retigui? Retigui, yes, Retigui, my friend, Retigui. Retigui is a Atalanta striker, Italian international with Argentine background. Absolutely. Raja, Go and try would you grab back centre midfielder. Big up Raja. Yeah, there's lots of players out there, my man. Lots of players out there. Is Rotiga a prolific striker, Sal? Yes, he is a prolific striker, Mr. Ephraim. He is a very good striker. I wouldn't say otherwise. International-wise, he hasn't been as prolific as, for example, his league form. But 6 goals for Italy, 20 appearances. It's no mean feat at the end of the day. He does play for Italy. Can he be prolific for Man United? That's the key. And then obviously this is something that we don't really know, do we? This is something that we'll be guessing, won't we? If we said that, can Retigi be prolific for Man United? What I like about this is that the fact that Man United have contingency plans. They have plans that if they don't get Gyökeres, if they don't get Mateta, whoever it is, they're going to go after a Retigi or something like that, which I absolutely agree with. I also like Gonzalo Ramos as well of PSG. I like the idea of Gonzalo Ramos. I still think he's got something to offer in a big club. When a player leaves a football club and they go to another football club and it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean it's the end of them. That's what I would say, because sometimes you just don't fit in. Look at Eric Cantona, for example. Sometimes you just don't fit in to a certain football club. Sometimes that football club is just not for you. And I would say that about Gonzalo Ramos, as well. But in regards to Retigi, take it back to Retigi, I would love Retigi at Man United. I think he'd be absolutely phenomenal. I think predicting. Do I think 100%? Absolutely not. But you know what? Football is a risk at the end of the day. Big up Hope. What's going on? We have Hope. Hope is what keeps us going. Big up Hope. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Big up Uchichi. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Good to see you. MUC now. Bye, Sal. Meet you at the chatterbox. Big up MUC forever. See you there, my friend. Enjoy yourself. Remember that, of course. Absolutely. Ichichi, what's going on? Morning, Sal. Been a while. Been away from home for a very long time. I saw you yesterday, Ichichi, didn't I? Didn't I see you yesterday? Emmanuel Nishik, Joshua. Big up yourself. I mean, if it is Joshua. Big up Emmanuel. Big up yourself. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Please, what's the update on Mbeumo? Mbeumo, let me tell you something about it, Emmanuel. I said it at the beginning of the show. Man United are just trying to iron out the finer details of the deal. Basically, a payment structure. Man United and Brentford have agreed the fee. So basically, we've got the fee already ready. We're going to pay that fee. But the problem is Man United's payment structure, how Man United want to pay this deal. They don't want to pay it all at once. Brentford are looking more of an upfront fee for Mbeumo. Because they want to purchase someone else. They want to replace Mbeumo. So they're thinking like, if Man United give us 20 million a year, that's not really going to help us too much. So we want to get the money now so we can buy who we want to replace Mbeumo. Given the fact that Brentford have also changed their manager, let's not forget that. The manager, obviously, is going to it has slowed things down, to be honest. I know it shouldn't really do, but it has really slowed things down. Big up. Big up, Kenny. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I just hope that Mbeumo just strike a transfer request like that Anthony did. I think he will, Kenny. I think he will. I just feel like this deal is so close. He's agreed personal terms that, you know what, it's no point doing that at the moment. At the moment, what it is that I like what Mbeumo's doing in a way because it shows respect. Mbeumo is showing respect to Brentford. But that respect can obviously die down. That can get exhausted, couldn't it? If they keep messing them about, the respect could disappear very, very soon, and the frustration starts to come in. So I would say that if it does drag on, if it gets to July and we still haven't got the deal done, then obviously he might go the legal route, at the end of the day, which Anthony threatened to do, didn't he? As well. I wish he did, so we didn't sign him, spend all that money on him. But yeah, it is something that Brentford have to be wary of. Brentford cannot be keeping players against their wishes. Once a player wants to leave a football club, once Mbeumo has handed in basically a transfer request by telling everyone he wants to join Man United, then you know what? They have no choice but to sell him because it doesn't make sense business-wise on and off the pitch. It doesn't because, you're going to have an unhappy player, and also when you have an unhappy player, the valuation of the player deteriorates. It decreases because, you know what, and then Man United can come back 6 months later and say, right, in the January transfer window and say, look, you know what, we want Mbeumo now. We'll pay you 40 million, and that's what can happen. Thank you so much, Greg. Let's get to 50 likes. Have we got to 50 likes already? Thank you so much, Greg. You absolute legend. It is Sunday, guys. Welcome to the Sunday show, of course. Big up. I hope everyone is doing well. Kevin, Hope we get the deal done. Hopefully, we will get it done. We will get it done. I'm very confident that the deal will be done, guys. It's Brentford and Man United are digging their heels in. The most important thing is that Man United have reached an agreement in regards to the price. The price as a whole in regards to Mbeumo. That's a good thing. Another good thing is that Mbeumo has agreed personal terms with Man United. That's a big thing as well. So we don't need to do anything, really. All we need to do is that medical. The medical provisionally has been booked. So that's a good thing as well. So that means that we're prepared for the deal to go through anytime soon, guys. Really hoping it is sooner rather than later so we can move on to the next one, of course, guys. Absolutely. Ephraim. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Much love to you, mate. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Let's keep the lights coming in. Want Princhenko and Pedro Gonçalves then be... I mean, I spoke to Sebastião Sousa Pinto the other day, and he was talking about Ruben Amorim and how Ruben Amorim converted Mr. Gonçalves into a number 10, because Gonçalves was a number 8. You know, this is one thing we have to learn. Check out my video from a few days ago with... the Portuguese journalist, and he will tell you how Ruben Amorim turned Pedro Gonçalves into a number 10 when he was a number 8. Look, at the moment, Trincao, I don't think he's just signed a contract, Rajat, at Sporting Lisbon. He's staying at Sporting Lisbon. He's not going anywhere. He's just signed a contract, as Sebastião said the other day. So what I would say is that Trincao, we don't need Trincao anyway. We've got Cunha and we've got Mbeumo, so we don't need him. Gonçalves will be a decent option, but Gonçalves, of course, is now playing number 10, and Man United don't need number 10s. Gonçalves and Trincao are 2 number 10s that Man United don't really need because we've got Cunha and Mbeumo. So, and I think they're much more better, I think, in my opinion. Proven in the Premier League. Bill, it's free to like and subscribe to Sal Works Hard. I couldn't talk on Man United for 1 hour. Could you? Bill, I try. I mean, at the end of the day, look, I'm passionate. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's like, there's so much in regards to Man United at the moment that, you know, we just have to bring it in. And you know what? I could talk for days, but it is exhausting sometimes. Sometimes when the negativity strikes in, it does get exhausting. It does, because obviously people are frustrated. And I understand the frustration within the fan base. I really do, because obviously what has happened this last 13 years and stuff like that. But yeah, big up, Bill. Thank you so much. I mean, it's really good to have you here, mate. Really appreciate you, my friend. Malu, the wage structure needs reworking. I think they've done that, Malu. Big up Malu, by the way. I think they've done that. I think they're working on that at the moment. I don't think Man United are going to be spending 200, 250, 300,000 on players anymore. Obviously, there was the rumor about Mbeumo signing a contract for 250,000, 300,000 a week, which was way off the mark. He's getting 150,000 a week. So that is really good in a way. I know it's a lot of money, but what we would say is this, right? Is that he could have got 150 grand anywhere he went. If he went to Newcastle, he could have got 150 grand anywhere he went. Now, guys, did you hear the story about Newcastle United blaming Manchester United for extortionating the market? Basically, bringing the prices up. Can you believe the cheek of Newcastle United? Just because you were rejected by Mbeumo, just because Mbeumo doesn't want to play for your crappy football club, you're talking about Man United inflating the prices of the transfer market. Have you looked at Liverpool recently? Have you looked at Man City recently? Have you done that? We're buying Mbeumo at his market value. We bought Cunha at his release clause. So how can they talk about you know what, we're inflating the prices, we're inflating the price? Just get on with your business. If you can't do business, don't blame Manchester United, Newcastle United. I love it if we beat them, love it. Don't blame us, blame yourselves at the end of the day. At the end of the day, look, Newcastle, you are just Newcastle, okay? We're still Manchester United. Whether we have Champions League, whether we don't, we're still Manchester United. There's far more history in regards to our armor than yours, even though you're a good team at the moment. You know what I mean? And you won a League Cup for the first time in 100 odd years, of course. Lee, Grayo, on my counter, I'm always the last like. Big up Lee Davies. Big up. I mean, better late than never. Big up yourself. I really appreciate that. Casemiro needs to be leaving. Yeah, there is rumors about Casemiro staying at the football club. I mean, I don't know what you guys make of that. I'm a big admirer of Casemiro over his career. He's a generational, probably the best CDM there's been in the last, 15 years? What I would say is that, you know, Man United need to move on from Casemiro. Casemiro is getting too much money a week, 370 grand a week. And I actually think that Casemiro, his legs have gone. I think that's why I think like this, because I actually believe that his legs are gone and he can't play Premier League football anymore. Now, there are teams after him. There is Saudi Arabia. Of course, there's Saudi Arabia. But look, Saudi Arabia, I mean, they're not stupid. They're going to look at Casemiro. They're going to look at his wage and they're going to say 370 grand a week. Can we really afford that? It's too much money. And these players are not going to take a pay cut. This is the thing. And, and I can't say that they must take a pay cut. They're mercenaries and this because they don't need to. They don't have to take a pay cut. If they don't want to take a pay cut, they don't have to take it. It's up to them, isn't it? They're contractually obliged. So what I would say is that, Casemiro could be staying at the football club. He might be staying another year. Bad for Man United in a way because of our FFP and PSR and all that. And it is bad. But you know what? It is what it is. Man United, as Ruben Amorim said, they're not going to get all the deals done this window. We're going to get some deals done the next window. Maybe not January, but next summer. And obviously that is very frustrating to hear, isn't it? Because with what Man United need a full rebuild, a full actual rebuild. That's what Man United need. Players in, players out, ruthlessness. That's what Man United need. Right, you're not at the team anymore. You're not in the team anymore. You're out the door. Gone. Here's your money for your wages. We don't need you anymore. And the fact is, the problem is that we got players like Jadon Sancho, right, who are so obviously running down their contract, so obviously want to run down their contract. They're so obviously don't want to sign for another football club because of this. Because they know, Jadon Sancho knows he's in line to make a lot of money if he leaves at the end of the season when his contract expires. He could sign for any football club and get a big, huge payoff. A big, huge millions of payoff. That shows you how greedy these players are. It shows you players like Jadon Sancho. Listen, I was raised on the likes of Ryan Giggs and players like that. Do you know what I mean? Who got a fraction of the money that Jadon Sancho got. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, despite cost of living, it's still extortionately more money than Ryan Giggs got, for example. And these players don't realize how lucky they are. Now he would rather sit on the bench. He don't care about his England future. Quite obviously, there is the World Cup coming at the end of next year. Maybe if Jadon Sancho decided to go to a football team this year, maybe if he decided to go to Juventus or something or Fenerbahce and absolutely smacks it, absolutely kills it, right? Given the fact that Thomas Tuchel is connected to Borussia Dortmund, maybe Sancho might get a chance because Thomas Tuchel will know about Borussia Dortmund and Jadon Sancho. So maybe if Jadon Sancho plays and he does very well, maybe Jadon Sancho might have a chance to be in the England squad in the World Cup at the end of the year. Maybe at the end of 26. Maybe that could be the case. But it's quite obvious that he doesn't care about football anymore. And this, for me, is the most disappointing thing for me. Because at the end of the day, you could not want to play for Man United, etc. But you know what? A footballer's career is very short. And when you retire, right, it's going to be very difficult for you. Because, you're not going to have football anymore. You're not going to have that rope to fall on. Of course, they're extremely rich anyway, but it doesn't really matter. But what I would say is that it's very disappointing that he would rather run down his contract and get a huge payoff from another football team than go to a football team now and boost his chances of being in the World Cup next year. You know what I mean? That's just me at the end of the day. Randy, we need players like Mbeumo, but we must not overpay a player rather than walk away. I think, Brandy, the price has been agreed. The price has been agreed. Man United have agreed a fee between Brentford and us. Man United are just working out a payment structure. So basically, we want to, the money's been agreed. The money's fair. We want to pay it in our own way. We want to give installments. So that is what's going on at the moment. The deal is done in regards to the payment agreed. The price agreed. The price has been agreed, but Man United want to pay in a different structure. As confirmed, I said it yesterday, and it was also confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Exactly the same thing. Big up. 27th like, and I'm proud. Big up, Lee David. 27. Big up yourself. Absolutely. Thank you, mate. Do you think we could have a multitasking editor? We would have. This is the problem, Malu. You make a good point there, because this is something that I've been talking about for the last week, is that I don't mind Man United taking their time with Mbeumo. I really don't. It's all right. Okay, as long as they get the deal over the line, that's fine. But what I don't like is that Man United not multitasking. Now, I know that Man United are looking at other players, for example, Retigi, for example, Mateta, with Gyökeres and all these players. They are looking at players, but they're not actually making a move for those players because they're still working on the Mbeumo deal and the payment structure, etc., etc. So I'm disappointed about that, because this is something that we've been handicapped with over the last few years. This is something that we've done wrong over the last few years, in my opinion. And we need to improve this aspect of us in regards to doing more deals at once, get deals done, because we got a lot of work to do. It's not just about Mbeumo, it's about the midfield, the striker, the right wing back, the goalkeeper, the defender. We got a lot of work to do, and not only that, we got Rashford deal to comprehend. We've also got Anthony, Sancho, maybe Luke Shaw as well, Garnacho. We got a lot of work to do, and I want them to work harder and like get things done. Do you know what I mean? Tyberg, what's going on? I'm not saying that is where bad will happen, but if you don't hit the like button, karma will find you guys, absolutely. And this has happened before, guys. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, because when you walk out of your house today, there will be, you will find a slippery floor. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tybo. Big up. Sal, Ratcliffe's 4 billion went on paying off Luke Shaw's. But he probably bought in a McDonald's. Luke Shaw probably has a McDonald's at the back of his house in his back garden. He probably has a proper McDonald's. He probably has a drive-through. Luke Shaw probably has to go through a drive-through before he goes into his house, a McDonald's drive-through. I'm not gonna fat shame him and stuff like that. No, that's cruel, isn't it? Ephraim, he will be booed if Garnacho is staying. We were not childish ego. Good point, absolutely. No BK there as well. Big up. Matteo Darman in part 2. Matteo Darman's done pretty well, to be honest, at Inter Milan, hasn't he? Tyborg. Bruno deciding to stay is a sign where promises of the team improvements. He wouldn't stay without this, and this is what gives me hopes. I hope so, Tyborg. I hope so. You know what? There is a whole number of scenarios that could be possibly in place in regards to this Bruno situation, 100 million that we reject and stuff. I would like to think, Tyborg, just as you said, I would like to think that Man United have given him some incentive to stay. Something like that will, give him a little bit of enthusiasm to stay. I hope so. I do know that way Ineos do things. Ineos are very, very tight-chested when it comes to their dealings. They don't like to show their hand. So let's hope that the deals are going to be done, and hopefully by next season we will be in a good position, and we will have a good crack at the whip. You know what I mean, in regards to the Premier League, and hopefully we will. I want to go into next season feeling, I'm confident and excited. We'll be here for the watch-alongs, and we'll be like, I want to feel excited. I want to feel like, this team is going to cook next season, and we're going to be good. You know what I mean? I hope so, and I hope that is true, Tybug. I really do. Makeda. Oh, yeah, Darmian and Makeda. There you go, guys. Giving it. Big up, everyone. Darmian and Makeda. Big up, Charles. Big up, absolutely. Big up, Makeda. Absolutely. How can I forget those names? Big up, everyone who commented. Big up yourselves. Absolute legends, of course. Frankie Dettori. Big up, Frankie. Yeah. Frankie Dettori. Yeah. He was a jockey, by the way. Possibon was Brazilian, Debasas. Lee Davis, shit keeper, and a number 10, and 10 said works for me. There you go. Big up, Lee. David, what's going on? That German lad up front for the under-21s, the 7 foot looked good. There's a few of them yesterday that I looked at that were very good. I'm going to get into that. Big up. Big up, everyone. Sal, 53 likes. Get in there, guys. Let's keep it going. We need to really make it normalized to get 100 likes per show. Is that too much to ask for? We need to normalize that. Big up. Dabby says, tall players are prone to injuries. Let him stay in Germany. There you go. Peter Crouch didn't. Brazil League talents is immense. We have to take sometimes a risk and sign a Brazil League. I agree, and it's a lot cheaper as well, and they're different mentality as well. Those. Big up, Pel. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. As a centre back currently, we have Maguire and De Ligt. I noticed Yeleni Oro was put in the position a bit controversial, but I don't rate De Ligt. Yeah, he has passion, but can't be. I think what I would say Bill, what I would say in his defense is that none of these players had the proper preseason last year, and he did have an injury as well. So what I would say is that this season is a massive season for the likes of De Ligt, for the likes of all those players there. I'm a big fan of Aiden Heaven. I think Aiden Heaven is going to be a world-class player. I know I don't want to put too much pressure on the lad, but I think he's going to be a world-class player, to be honest with you. Maybe if Man United get the room to do it, maybe Man United can bring in a more experienced defender, do you know what I mean, out of the block somewhere. Even if we get one from Portugal, we can get someone from there. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there was talk about Ignacio. Ignacio is a player who plays for Sporting Lisbon. Very good player as well. Plays on the left side of the centre-back, though. I think Man United in the middle, they need another proper, solid centre-back, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Get Cherno Samba out of her retirement. Big up. Raja, but Bruno likes to be everywhere on the pitch. Help. I mean, this is the problem that we're having, Raja. This is the biggest concern that I will have, Raja, in regards to Bruno. You know, I hope next season he is more disciplined in his positioning. The problem I have with Bruno is that, and God bless him, because at the end of the day, with Bruno, he gives his all for the football club. He loves the football club. He wants the football club to win. He does. And what I would say is that the problem is whilst he's got that captain's armband, not the captain's arm bag. Can you imagine you had a captain's arm bag? If you're a captain, you have to carry the bag everywhere with you. No, I'm the captain's arm bag. I have to carry it with me everywhere I go on the pitch. Anyway, look, so basically what it is, right, is that he feels obliged to work hard for the team. And he does, in my opinion, what Bruno does, he does too much because he's got that captain's armband. I believe that a defender should be the captain. And I think that captain armband should be taken from Bruno. I think so, because I think it puts too much pressure on him. I think it takes away a lot from his game, in my opinion. Guys. Absolutely. Lee, no, you don't have Hackney, but I seriously, young, keen vibes from watch. I hope so, mate. I really do hope so, Lee Davis. I hope so. If Man United get him, I'll support him with everything. De Ligt is a bit rigid, and with his style, I see quite a few injuries during the season. I hope not. We've had enough of them. Big up. I'm happy Man United kept Bruno. Love Bruno. Big up, Raja. Yeah, no problem. Big up. Lee, I will be watching Hackney. He can see some decent passes to me. I mean, what I want to see about Aidan Hackney, Bill, what I want to see is that he's playing in the Championship. This is what we have to understand, right? It's a different ball game. Now, I'm not saying he's going to come into Man United and absolutely flop. What I'm saying is this. The Championship is a whole different ball game compared to the Premier League. You know what I mean? That's what I would say about that. Let him sign for Man United and let's see what he does. If not, we send him on loan to another Premier League club. Maybe we can do that. Do you know what I mean? And see how he does. Maybe a Crystal Palace, maybe someone in Everton or something like that, and see how he does. I see potential, but I'm not gonna jump the gun because he hasn't played in the Premier League yet, in my opinion. But work ethic is there, definitely. David Lamb, Watermaid is the German under-21 attacker. He was just been from Stuttgart to Bayern. Yeah, he's just signed for Bayern Munich, absolutely. Watermaid, that's the one, yeah. He's just signed for Bayern Munich literally last week. Yeah, so they obviously rate him very highly. He's a good player. Didn't Tybo, didn't you mention him a week ago, 2 weeks ago as well? Didn't you mention him that Man United should be going on for Watermaid? I mean, there we are. Diamande is apparently going to CP if Goey goes to Liverpool. Yeah. Apparently he's going to Crystal Palace. But the problem is, Rajat, as we spoke to Sebastião Sousa Pinto last week, he's valued at 50 million. Can Crystal Palace afford 50 million for Mr. Diamande? This is the thing. This is why that deal stalled somewhat. Of course. Retigi is a fox in the box striker. I've watched a lot of Atalanta last season, scored loads of goals, but I doubt he'd get much space in the Premier League. Penalty boxes. Good morning, Bio. Good morning, Revert 7. Of course, nobody knows, isn't it, at the end of the day? Also, Atalanta created a lot of chances, true, but we've got Mbeumo and Cunha now, so we may be able to create chances as well, of course. Hope, I think Federico was Italian. Yeah, he was Italian, mate. Absolutely spot on. Big up, Hope. He was. Absolutely. Riga, Retigi, Hoyland for 2.0. That's your opinion. D. Davis, Cantona was shagging Wilkinson's daughter, whence they were good for her. That's that. I mean, I don't care what he does off the pitch as long as he does it on the pitch. Not that, but you know what, football. Sal, why do we always end up paying what the club want? Because at the end of the day, that is the way life is. You have to pay what they offer. They're not moving from that price. I'd stay away from Atalanta striker. They bad United eyes, Erasmus. There you go, Craig Parker. You can't paint everyone with the same brush, though, can you? You can't really paint everyone the same brush. You know, not everyone is the same. Do you know what I mean? There's a big difference between Federico Makeda and Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't there? Rajat, don't know who Ortega will be. Big up. Bill, I watched the highlights of the Chelsea game. There wasn't much of a crowd. I've seen more people. This is why I'm not doing the watch-alongs. This is why I don't believe it. I don't believe that a tournament, right, that doesn't have the best English clubs in it, doesn't have the best Spanish clubs in it. What I would say is this, right? This tournament should have been organized with the historical teams first. So the teams that have done well in the Champions League over the history of the Champions League, for example. So in regards to, like, it should have been Liverpool and Man United going to this tournament. It should have been. It should have been Real Madrid and Barcelona in this tournament. It should have been not Chelsea, not Man City. It should have been Man United and Liverpool. That's what they should have done, not base it on the last 4 years. I guarantee you that if that was the case, there would be a full house every single game, in particular Liverpool and Man United at the tournament. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't paint everyone with the same brush, Bill. It's a lack of ball knowledge, mate, in my opinion. Man United should go and buy Ratigi. Absolutely, Kaya. Big up. Bill, nobody's interested. There are teams I've never heard before, and I'm 52, organised in a country where there are not sure how many players are on the pitch. A recipe for failure. Absolutely. Absolutely. David says, Oil Club blabbering. Absolutely. Salty Club blabbering corrected. Salty Club blabbering. Absolutely. Big up. But Newcastle and their fans carrying. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's about Newcastle. They're blabbering on. They're jealous, mate. They're just jealous. We are not deciding what club wants for the Players Club. Decide, get on. It's a small, big up Ephraim. Newcastle, the Biker Grove. Biker Grove. Yeah, PJ, what's it? And Deckman. And Deck. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Get ready. Get steady. Let's rumble. Everybody rumble. But Bill, join in. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Get ready. Get steady. Everybody rumble. Absolutely. Guys, who cares about overrated oil club? Big up. They got oil, but they can't spend anything. It's a bit like having oil, but no cars. Still 27 likes on the countdown. Thank you so much, Lee. Big up yourself. Absolutely. Casemiro won't budge on 300k. I think he'll see it the last year, probably. The only good thing about Newcastle United is Andy Cole. That's it. And they gave him to us. Absolutely. Gave him to us. Bill, agreed. Another point of me, atmosphere, American grounds, no roofs to keep the noise level on the ground. It just seems dead to me. I mean, this is why I wouldn't have given the World Cup to America. It's exactly why I wouldn't have given it. And the World Cup's going to be hosted in America for the second time in what? 30 years? Just over 30 years. I don't think that's fair. I think that America hosting the World Cup again is ridiculous. They're only hosting the World Cup in America because of commercial reasons. That's it. They're not hosting the World Cup in America because of football. Absolutely not. They're hosting the World Cup in America. Excuse me. I'm burping there. They're hosting They're hosting the World Cup in America because of commercial reasons. And that's what it is. I really hope we don't turn it into the Super Bowl, though. I really don't, because the whole highlight of the Super Bowl was the bloody halftime show, isn't it? It's not even a sport on the pitch. He lucky that Fenerbahce and Juve are interested in signing both kind of big club. In regards to Sancho, but they don't want to pay the wages, do they? At the end of the day, they don't want to pay the wages. Bill, another point for me, Sal, is our punt on taking a gamble. Van der was a Celtic and Southampton bought him. Rolton and Blackburn Palace, it came in. We are slow and end up paying through the nose. At the end of the day, what I would say is this, Bill, right? I would say this to you. And this is the point I would say about championship players, okay? When a championship player plays for Southampton, they play him every game, right? So they build up strength. They build up experience, okay? So when they're playing for the likes of Southampton and Celtic, they build up experience, they build up strength, all right? But these teams like Southampton, right, are not expected to win. So they could play a young player in the team and say, right, it doesn't matter because our expectations are low. For Man United, it's risky because Man United can't risk it. You know what I mean? This is why I would get Hackney, and I would send him on loan. I would buy him and I'll send him on loan. That's what I would do. That's my point of it. I would send him to a Premier League club on loan. That's what I would do because I don't think he's better than Mainu. I don't think he's better than Agate. I mean, work ethic is there, but at the end of the day, we have to obviously be careful. I actually don't think he's better than Collier myself. I've watched Collier, but he could be. He could be a world-class player. All we know, one thing we have to understand is that when players come from the Championship, you have to give them time and you have to give them experience in playing first-team football. I think if Aidan Hackney walked into Man United, I don't think he'll be first team football. You know, and as much as I like him, I wouldn't say no. 10, 15 million euro, what could go wrong? I would like to see him on, like, you know, sign for Man United and maybe go on loan or something like that, in my opinion. Backstreet was on 65 for and he wasn't going to take 30k pay cut, 30k a week if he was going to join Man United in 1997. Good thing he didn't, you know, because everything would have worked out different in regards to the treble as well, wouldn't it? Guys, thank you so much for joining me, absolute legends. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and please also don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. You're absolute legends. Thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to do that, guys. Big up Dabizaz and big up Tyborg. Tyborg, if we get Gyökeres, I would be after Burkhardt and Mainz, 24 years old. 30. You know what we need, Tyborg? We need you as a scout, mate. We need you as a scout. Big up. 82 likes, Sal. Big up, Grayo. Thank you so much, guys. Big up everyone who joined me today. Absolutely. Sorry I couldn't get through all your messages, but thank you so much for joining me this morning. I will be back later on for Chatterbox. Please don't forget to put your notifications on. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video as well, guys. And also, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Guys, thank you so much. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. I shall see you later on for Chatterbox. Take it easy, guys. Peace.